I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting.
Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby.
Oh, sorry about that. Dez's phone froze. So, stuff happens with these phones, electronics all the time. And not to mention it's raining outside, even though I'm in Chicago and he's in New York. But, here he is. Okay. Hey, what's up, New Rudis?
We back.
Yeah, we back. What's up?
We lit.
Yes, we are definitely lit.
They trying to play with the algorithm. We not going.
No. We serious about this joint. You hear me?
Yes. Salute, Silk.
What's up, Silk? I told you what's up. What's up, Street the Villain? Yes. What's up, New Rudis?
Watchmaker. No. What's happening, Brody?
Let's get it, y'all. Okay, we're gonna start this episode off the right way, Dez. I'm gonna introduce you first, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Yo, what's up, Chicago? And welcome back to Speak Your Mind Radio, episode 549, season 15. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Queen Star, aka MzHipHop. And today we have an absolutely great show for you, okay? It's gonna be litty. We are talking to creator, artist, producer, lover of music, hip-hop connoisseur, all these things, Dezit, on his newly released album called Dark Sandz. So without further ado, bring it up next to the mic, my homeboy, Dezit.
Yeah. Salute, Star, salute, Chi-Town. Salute New York City. Salute everybody tapped in, man. Let's get it.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. This is a very special episode because I've been listening to Dark Sandz since it came out. And I have some questions, but before we get into it, Dez, I want to hit you with a traditional icebreaker question from Speak Your Mind Radio.
I'm with it. Let's get it.
All right. What do you think about Papoose exposing Remy Ma?
Ooh, that's nice. Right to it. Honestly, so get straight to it. I think it's messy as fuck. And so if I want to take it on a personal level, I think it should be something that we should know about as far as their personal shit. Like even if it's as nasty as they both sides are making it seem, we shouldn't know that. That should be in-house shit. So, and I respect both of them as artists, entertainers. I got love for Remy BX. She been holding it down. But yeah, it just looks real nasty work. At the end of the day, even with all the exposing, who looks bad? Both of them. You know what I'm saying? And of course, our admiration for what they presented to us. So it's it's messed up, man. And at the end, the other flip side of that coin is the realization that just because it looks beautiful and it looks nice and it looks perfect doesn't mean it is. So a lot of us are chasing something that we believe is what it is, but the reality is that they are really regular human beings. They are also imperfect, and shit happens. So there's no winner in that situation, particularly. And yeah, it shouldn't be our business, personally.
No.
Unless they battle rapping each other, then yeah, that's maybe different.
Right. And that's not what's going
that's
on.
Not what it is.
It's not a good look for neither one of them. And when their kids get of age, they're gonna be looking at this stuff,
Yeah, man. It's it's part of their story too. Just wish that it never happened though. Shouts out to both of them on the overall, and I'm staying out of y'all business.
All right. With that being said, let's move on. Dez, I want to tell you, I've seen you put in so much work, so much effort into this one project, but you do it with every single project. But this one is not for mass consumptions. You know what I'm saying? This one you had to really think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it triggered my conscience. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But
for real.
Your music always does that to me anyway, so it's something I have to study.
I'm really grateful for that. I'm gonna try to use words because that's what I've, that's how we communicate. But I'm beyond words with gratitude and humility and gratefulness to the Creator, because I really put it out with the mindset of this is a project that is, I guess, closest to the pocket and line of artistry that I'm in, and I had uncertainties of it because creating and being independent and all the hoopla that comes with trying to be heard and to develop your sound and to be a better artist for people. Sometimes the noise of what's your sound and what's popping can influence you, and even through others maybe close to you or around you or that you may admire. So it really took me saying, throw all of that to the side, present the stuff that you love, and find out who loves it too, and it was about me. It was about me challenging not only myself and saying, okay, these are my favorite type of songs or my favorite type of bodies of work that I love to create and be a part of, but I'm not sure if everybody's palate is ready for it. So it was really about me saying, I'm gonna just put it out there and see what the feedback I am, and I'm like overwhelmed with approval and just joy in it. Like, Dreams was my favorite song. Come to find out, Dreams is everybody's favorite song. Onions was my favorite song personally, and then I got people that, Onions is the joint. And it's just between not only just conceptually of the songs, but how people responded to the production. It's like it's a twofold blessing and just gratitude, man. Like, it's really, really like, I wish I can go like this and open myself inside to show people how how I really feel about the response and my peers enjoying it, and people, just identifying parts and lines that identify and resonate with them more individually is I never want to lose sight of what this is for, and it's about touching people and getting reactions and getting people to think and see things a certain way, the ultimate gratitude.
Most definitely, and it shows. And I wanted to ask you, what triggered the name Dark Sandz?
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Llegaron los nuevos McCrispy Strips, listos para aventurarse en la mezcla de mayo ketchup, la barbecue que quedó en el fondo de la cajita, Hot Fudge Sundae y en la nueva Creamy Chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Los nuevos McCrispy Strips, ahora en McDonald's. Para pa pa pa.
Very good question. So, as you know, I go by Dezit, right? And we've had conversations about why I chose that name as well. In the forms of isolation, and even in the intro, I also done audio by me as well, where I kind of wanted to make sure that from the beginning that there is not only a concept but a destination attached to it. So I wanted to not only put you in a frame of mind, but also in a place of existence, musically, audio-wise, and, you know, let your mind and your third eye, like, take you where, you know, your mental space is. So the Dark Sandz was me basically saying, this is not about pretty lights and commercialism and being fashionable. This was about, okay, this stuff that has nothing to do with commercialism. This was just like real talk, a project full of real talk, but how can I present it in a way where it's not just, you just putting a whole bunch of rhymes together and putting it out. Let me take you someplace. Let me put you in my world. Let me try to, you know, metaphorically take you to a location. And then now that we're here, here's the Dark Sandz. So it's not, it was just about light and even the light in darkness. So yeah, I was like, Dark Sandz represents a location, a destination, and preparing you for the tone, as opposed to just, I'm not giving, this is not a happy project, I would think. I think this is a more so reflective project. So I just took a shot, and I'm glad it stuck.
Most definitely stuck. And speaking of sticking, something I noticed about the album was you only had one feature. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Street the Villain on Eggnog. You know what I'm saying? And that song, I felt like y'all were kind of going back and forth talking to the creator about the gift of rhyming that he's given you. You know what I'm saying? And also it's like a celebration of those things, because you're talking about eggnog. I think that's some kind of type of drink with tequila or something like that, you know?
Correct.
So can you elaborate more on how the concept behind eggnog came about?
Absolutely. Shouts out to the homie Streets the Villain. So the concept when making the beat, because that's where it starts, I kind of wanted to, when I make productions and I make beats and there's an attachment to it, of course you have to give it an identity, you have to give it a name. So instead of, you know, naming it a number or something, I try to name my production based off of the feelings. I might have been drinking eggnog and tequila that day, or maybe the day before, and it just stood out. So the vibe and the feel of it, I said, let me, you know, because I didn't want to use a pausable frame or a pausable term. So I'm gonna say, my thing was let me input my feelings into the title, so that way hopefully it carries through. And me and Streets is working on stuff. Shouts out to Trauma Beats. We got a project that we are working on. I'll save the title for when we discuss and we got everything lined out. But it's gonna be another movie. I'll say that. But so long short of it, me and Streets, we've been building. Shouts out to the homie Emerge, my homie 730, who I got connected to Streets through him. So shouts out to Emerge. And I jacked the homie, man. I felt the kinship. The homie was like twin Zeno, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the watchmaker. And it just felt like, you know what? Clip to the chase of it was that I don't trust everybody on certain types of music that I produce. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there's a certain tier I have in my mind of where I want certain projects and certain music to be. And he basically fit not only the vibe, I knew he can handle the assignment, the concept, and he can get it done expeditiously, which he did. And, it was one of my favorite productions, and I just had the track for a minute, but I was like, who can handle this concept? Who can handle this topic? And Streets came through.
Shout out to Streets. Salute to him for sure. But look, I noticed, again, it's about taking notice. You challenge your listeners to search and go beyond just the surface of things, like in the track Love, Live, Die. My question to you is, what prompted you, and I hope you know this, you did this, but what prompted you to use the 1981 film My Dinner with Andre as a reference to the track Love, Live, and Die?
Okay, so I'm going to start with saying you surprised the fuck out of me by saying this was one of your standout tracks. And I only say that because, not that you're highly intellectual and I know you can grasp the concepts of it, but like I said, I was uncertain on how people will receive this kind of messaging, content, and subject, because a lot of times, and I'm from the Bronx, New York, so I know how niggas think. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this nigga lyrical, miracle, spiritual, oh, this good, righteous brother, oh, this nigga educating, trying to kick knowledge ass nigga. I know the different variables of our people or just listeners. You know what I mean? So it was distinguished, or rather distinctive, for a certain cloth of individual, and I'm so glad to hear that that's one of your standout tracks. Back to the song. So the audio, came across my timeline, and I remember seeing the scene and something. I was like, I didn't know what that movie was. And I was just like, hold on, let me try to snatch it up. And when I originally heard it, it resonated so much perspective-wise. Mm-hmm. And the organic part of it was that I have audio in the beginning of the song and of course at the end. So my thing was that whole clip kind of stood out to me, and I was like, well, how can I use this? How can I, make it meaningful or connect to today? Because it's an old film. You called the date, right? So it's like, how can I make this connect without making it boring? Because I can listen to whole skits for 60 minutes if it's resonating and then go into the song. So it was about trying to, open the consciousness of the potential listener, and it being placed at the slot that it was in the project, which was like second to last, is strategic as well, because if you make it that far to the project, then the song was for you. the song is to tap into your higher, tap into undistracted consciousness of what's in front of you and what maybe is to come. Like, it has a little eeriness to it too, as far as the production, and I didn't want it to stay eerie, so had to put them drums on top of it, change the flow, and I'm working on the concept of making occasional listener or consistent listener feel what I'm saying, feel not just my words, but you feel the energy in it. So pose in the front building, had the natural build, packed like steel. Like, I was like, oh, okay, now he in a different pocket. Yeah, if I didn't have your attention with the slow flow, now, oh, okay, I'm up. So conceptually, it resonated in so many levels. And of course, speaking about the track and connecting to the content, is relevant to everyone. It's relevant to everybody living in this existence and current timeline. So, I'm sure everyone can relate to it, but not everybody's palette is welcoming that kind of music and form of entertainment connecting to consciousness. So anybody that tell me that that's one of their standout tracks, I equate you as part of my tribe. So
dope.
Seriously,
that's dope. Because I know it's more than just words, but this line really stood out to me, and I'm still laughing. But they say this life is a bitch, but she fat and she gorgeous. But she say, give her 6 feet and watch where you coughing. Stop it, come on. Do you feel the layers and layers of meanings on top of that? For me,
yes.
You talked about COVID-19. For me, you're talking about habitually living every day. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize what you're doing every day? I love this.
I'm so surprised that it resonated, because I feel it. Like, I feel it when I present it. I'm just thinking about it. And, sometimes this life ain't always pretty. Sometimes what I mean by that term in connection to what you're saying is that sometimes harsh realities is your reality. So, if we take the concept of being life is a bitch, right? But I love her. She's fat and she's gorgeous. You know what I mean? But in the midst of living the life and trying to find a life with Mother Nature, the world, and an existence, sometimes she tell you, get the fuck away from me. There's people that you can love, but some people and things you gotta love from a distance. So yeah, there's layers to it, and man, you one of us. You one of us.
For sure. And I'm skipping around just a little bit because I'm telling you, what my standout tracks were from the album Dark Sandz. And I would say another track would be You Might. Now, You Might, for me, resonated with me as if let me ask you, did you did you by any chance reference the book, the 1991 book Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper at all?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I referenced that book in a few projects, but particularly when I refer to that book, have you read that book or came across it?
I come across it plenty of times, but I haven't read it in its entirety.
When it came across, when my first introduction to that book, I was 21, incarcerated. I was on Rikers Island, Mod 4, and God body by the name of Just, he go by Just, he presented that book to me, and how he presented it to me was like, I'm gonna let you rock with this book, but this is a very powerful book. So prepare yourself Don't go crazy after you read this. Just become aware. And I've watched people of different ethnicity come across that book, get the information, and I've literally watched them start to bug out. Like with the slaps of, you know, just knowledge that, oh shit, this shit is right in front of us. It's subliminal messages. This and the adjacents, the Scientology, the this, the that, the Masons, the this, it's all right in front of our face all this whole entire time. And it spooked some people, but to those that's conscious and where we come from, thanks to the nations, the gods on earth, and my parents teaching me about scriptures and my connection to the Creator, our struggle as a people allow us to endure or grasp harsh realities a little more real. Because when we look at what our ancestors go through and what we've been through and just our people in general, there's got to be an explanation. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be things that have to make sense, and why, where, and who, and all of those things are attached into that consciousness of that book. So long short of it, to bring it back to the song, I challenge my listeners sometimes. I know, while I'm independent and I can do this at free will, I think it's my duty to present real consciousness or real things that matter. Because once you get into them upper rooms with them lit people that tell us we gotta look and be like them in order to be successful, they're dealing with lower natures on the most vast, most nastiest ways you could think. We could look at the PTD trial and the many other peoples that are going through shit that, we probably never thought would happen. But I bring all of that to say, that between love, live and die, and you might, me putting it at the end of the project was, it allowed for me, the people that really get what I do, to enjoy those songs. And You Might is one of those songs that I used to listen to just back to back, just like a all day thing, just to see what am I getting from it. Am I feeling it? Is it strengthening me? Is it making me feel more consciously aware of my surroundings, or the things that I can't see? I acknowledge it, And we need power, man. We need power. We not only need to get fresh, and we not only need money, but we need power. We need that shit that's gonna help us do this shit. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. And the book Behold the Pale Horse is a very powerful manuscript that a lot of hip hop artists use, like Prodigy, Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? And it just helps the listener, like you said, to become more aware of what's going on, with conspiracy theories and, things of that.
I thought you were going to actually go into one of the lines in that first verse that a lot of people has been personally saying, yo, I didn't expect you to say that, where is the world round and flat at the same time, and in my mind all of this craziness God see us, and he be like, I seen when you did all right, and I seen when you did wrong. I seen when you praised me, and I seen when you beat off.
I heard it.
For it's a line, and it's kind of abrasive, and it sounds like, oh wow, why would you say that? How could you say that? But if I'm taking myself and my own conscience, my own comfort out of it, and implant myself in conceptually how the Creator may see us and his creation, I gotta put myself as an ant. He may look at the Creator, probably looks at us like little things that he's made. So never get too high. That's how I wanted it to be, as great and powerful that I may feel I am at times, and we are as a people. Don't never forget we are nothing compared to the Creator.
Yes. And that line did stand out, but it made me want to go deeper into it. And I'm saying I skipped the line because that's what made me keep rewinding and listening and going to research.
Did this motherfucker say?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't want to say that on air, but it's funny as hell.
We ain't get flagged there, so.
Right. Okay. Now let's talk about one of the popular joints called Onions. Okay. I like this track, Dez, because it really you know, some of the lines you said, it really made me cry. And I'm like, damn, this nigga right. But you said, oh God, let me see. Because I listened to this song like 3 times in a row. Okay, here it is. I love the way you put your words together too. But you go, hit the booth like a youth fountain. So many moves, but who's really counting? Burning the truth, I know who really doubted. So far thinking landed in the Bahamas. Look at her face. She saw a tuba goblin. She needs designer petals on her flowers. Pretty as fuck. I hope she owned knowledge. I hope she more than the outfit. She need attention like you make announcements. I hope you know there's more pussies out here than there is power. What the fuck?
You heard? Wow. It's one of my favorite verses. It's one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite productions. Wow. You really fucking me up in the sense of like it's resonating. Like I give the creator the praise, man. I mean, the words kind of like they are kind of self-explanatory, and I think the more that you get to know me as an artist, person, content developer, whatever, I feel like you get me. You get me through the music. You get my frame of mind, and you particularly we've been rocking with each other for like 4 or 5 years already, and we've both watched each other, you know, develop in our spaces and learn things and create and fall and pick things up, start something, I remix it, turn this over. So those words are really, really close to me, and then conceptually, those words are to touch the minds of not only just the guys and the men that I know that listen to my music, but also the women, like of the consciousness of a man or a real motherfucker that's looking like, yo, she's mad beautiful, she's fire, but I hope she's worth more than an outfit. You know what I mean? Like, I hope her essence, I hope her existence and her presence next to me is worth more than what I could buy her, or worth more than what shit look like. Because there is I don't want to sound so cliche, but there is something that is being pushed on our women as well, that where I just feel like, yes, I think every woman that is respected and loved deserves the world if it's something that you can afford. But a lot of times, at least as I get older, I do see that the value of the shit that you can't buy has been trying to be diminished. Like there's no price on a quality woman. There's no price amount of dollars you can buy or pay for a loyal woman that loves you, rich or poor. You know what I mean? There's certain things that, as I may like express to maybe a female friend, like with a real motherfucker, we watching you when you not watching. When you don't see us watching you, we watching your men. We watching how you take care of your house. We watching how you talk. We watching how you take care of yourself and shit like that. Like, it's different qualities. Like, we may not come into an interaction with a female thinking about marriage or keeping you forever, but you can develop that if your genuine true self with integrity is revealed. There's no way you can you know, even if you a piece of shit motherfucking man, you still can recognize this a good woman. Even if you fucking up and you being snaky or whatever, you know that that's still a good woman. You know there's a difference between a good woman and a not so good woman. You know what I mean? So that song and that verse, outside of just the penman part of it, is how can I top my first verse? And with topping it is more than just putting words and layers together. How can I make you go, You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How can I make you go, oh, I caught that. Mm-hmm. So and I've had it in a song that I put out on a project called Second Childhood, where my thing is, I don't want to waste your money or your time. When you listening to me, I want you to feel like this nigga is not wasting my time. This nigga is rapping. This nigga has a message. This nigga got something for me. You know what I'm saying? I can get something out of it. Even if it's a line, I could get something out of it outside of just the beat and bop in my head. So it's one of my favorite songs because it just has a vibe to it, instrument wise. And then now, once you get into that pocket, now it's like, all right, I'm all ears. What you got for me?
Exactly.
I wanted to make sure I come correct. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of my favorite. Every song on here I love a lot, but just the content of the song I love so much.
Definitely. And speaking of like content of the song, like I want to talk about one of my favorite songs. Like I literally woke up with it in my head. I'm not playing, but it was Dreams though. And I'm like, I gotta go listen to this joint right now when I'm waking up like 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me go listen to Dance Dreams real quick. Yes.
It's sticking. It's still, you can't get rid of it.
It's sticking, and the beat. I love the beat and the sample. Where did the sample come from? That does it?
So it's a gospel song. I mean, they already like. I feel like if any of these songs blow up, they coming for me. But fast forward, it's a gospel song. I haven't gotten the full title of it, but of course it has a different pitch, and I transposed it to a certain key. I'm not gonna mention the key because then I might, you know what I'm saying, it might be like, oh good, yeah, let's put that in the algorithms and make a million versions of shit in that key. But it's more like just I was willing to rap to that by itself, just a sample. You know, some music and some instruments you can just hear like trying to think like when you hear Ronald Isley song, when you hear Between the Sheets,
yeah,
as soon as that comes on, there's a certain energy about it. As soon as you throw on Luther Vandross, Don't You Know That?
Yes.
You there. You know what I mean? And this it was part of the capture the feel, okay? Capture a feeling and then build upon it. Capture a feeling, capture an essence. And that was that. And then, you know, once it feels real, I have no choice and no other option but to speak real shit. You know, first thing that was on my mind, dreams, make the bed for this shit. Before I die, I want my Knicks to win a championship. You know what I mean? Like, I really felt that, and I meant it. I'm grateful that the people that heard it, like, this nigga mean that shit. This nigga really want the motherfuckers to win. I can hear it. That's your first line? Your first two? Yeah, that nigga mean that shit. All right, what you got? You know what I mean? Knick fan or not, like, that nigga mean it. So, and that was my thing, man. I just wanted to be genuine and kind of have a song that makes you feel a certain way when you hear it. And everybody that I've let hear it, shout out to my god brother Hitman, and people close to me that I've let hear certain songs. Dream, I've never gotten one bad thing about Dreams.
Yeah, I believe you.
I ain't got one bad, like, yo, that's all right, or this could be better. From setup, concept, beat, drums adding in the second part of the song, like, and it's like, yo, that's a certified song. And I'm like, okay, cool. I did my